All right, guys, welcome. I'm switching for a little bit. I will be covering the Philadelphia Soul this year. Very excited to cover some arena football. We're gonna do weekly guests. I'll definitely have the GM Kelly Logan. I'll have Coach Pimmel on as well, and we'll have weekly guests as well. And we will do some post game stuff with the guys too. So my first guest tonight for some Soul fans, might be a very recognizable face. Also, Arena Bowl champion. We have wide receiver Emery Sammons Jr. Emery, thank you so much for joining tonight.
Yes, sir, man. It's a pleasure to be here, man. I appreciate you.
Of course. Thank you so much for joining episode 1 too. We really appreciate it.
Yes, sir. My pleasure.
Oh yeah. So my first question is obviously that had to be a horrible feeling for you when you found out that the league folded. And then obviously with this new ownership group, that's bought into the Arena Football League and all. How excited are you that it's actually back?
Man, I'm very excited, man, because the league needed. I feel like the Philadelphia needed this. It's been a long time. I was very surprised that the league folded the way it did, and then let alone this market. It is the fans. You can tell as I post videos to try to get the fans excited. Because the fans are familiar, are familiar with my face. One and two. The city of Philadelphia needs this. It's football in the off season when the NFL is not playing. I think it's a great thing that they're bringing it back.
Totally agree with you. Obviously, for the Birds, it didn't end the way they wanted to, and the fans were very upset. So, I felt like, even before the Eagles won the Super Bowl too, I felt like the Soul, everyone joked, even my group of friends, they were like, Soul's the only team winning championships around here. So the Soul really gave people excitement and joy and stuff. So
Yes.
it was really fun when they were here. And plus, personally, I'm very excited that they're back, and it also gives you getting you closer to the NFL season too. So I feel like a lot of people are gonna really enjoy watching you guys.
Yes.
And especially it's on NFL Network too. So, it's awesome.
Yes, that was very. When I heard that we were doing as many NFL Network games, I said, "Wow, they really showing Philadelphia a lot of respect."
Yeah.
But they also showing us a lack of respect by putting us as the 16th ranked team in the league right now.
I know.
So we got a little chip on our shoulder about that, but that's fine though. Philly is Philly. We're gonna do what we got to do to represent for our city.
Plus, you gotta love the underdog mentality too, because a lot of guys, even it's their first year, they'd be like, all right, looks like we're top dogs, we're at top 5, and you might not come out the gate hot. It's good to come out there hungry and want to prove yourself.
Yes, I agree. That just makes us that much more hungry. And then, yes, imagine being that last ranked team coming back up to a first ranked team. So, yes, we're definitely looking forward to it. And we're definitely going to play with a huge chip on our shoulders.
I like that. Now, when did you first hear about the league making a comeback where it's oh my God, it's actually happening? When did you first hear about it before it was official?
Yes, it sprung up on me at the last second. I did not. I least expected this to occur. And once it did, and I heard the news, first thing I was getting was phone calls. People asking, "Hey, you still playing, man? You gonna play? You gonna coach?" And knowing and the person that I am, I try to leave the suspicion out there. I'm not sure. I'm excited. And then, I felt like when it was the right time, I would put it out there that I was given the opportunity that I'm going to play this season.
I like that. Awesome. Okay, cool. Now for those, that are also new viewers and all too, why don't you talk a little bit about your football background? When did you start getting into it? Where did you play your college ball? And how did you get into the Arena Football League?
Man, well, first and foremost, I started playing football at the age of 5 years old. Playing Pop Warner League for the Oakland Wildcats. Uh, After my first year of, sweating and all the sweating and crying and in the freezing cold,
Mhm.
I was like, I don't know if I want this. And then, mom said, nope, you're going to stick with this football. Next thing you know, man, it just turned into this career that I'm in now. I went to high school at Willingboro, New Jersey. I went to Willingboro High School,
Okay.
the stadium of Carl Lewis.
Yeah.
Definitely had a okay career in high school, but didn't really stand out as much. And I played defensive back, believe it or not. But
It looks like you muted. Yep. There you go. Yep, I got you now.
I'm sorry, man.
I
I
know
gotta
it's all
have
good.
phone call come in. So, I wound up at West Virginia State.
Nice.
Went to
Okay.
West Virginia State, Division II school. Transferred out of there because I just did not feel Division II was I felt like I was above Division II,
Hmm.
and I transferred 1AA. I wound up at Norfolk State University. Played a 3-year
Okay.
career there, 3 years over there. I wound up becoming nationally ranked as a punt returner and a kick returner in 1AA football, and got picked up by the Eagles. Believe it or not, right out of Norfolk State University in '07. Was in minicamp with them. I was released, and that's how I actually got introduced to arena football. Actually, my wide receivers coach played in the AFL himself,
Oh
and
wow.
he introduced me to Coach Maynard, who played with the Philadelphia Soul. Who was the office coordinator for the
Hmm.
Philadelphia Soul at that time in 2008, the year that Philadelphia Soul won the Arena Bowl. However, I was released. I was new to the game, but I definitely stood out, and I stuck to it. And next thing you know, I wound up AF2. I played in the AF2 for 3 years and ranked in the top 5 every single year, put up over 1,000 yards every single year. And then that's when I was reintroduced to the AFL, and I wound up in Spokane in 2010. And I remember the league AFL folded in 2009, and I was
Hmm.
going to sign with the New York Dragons, but they folded. That's why I had to play back in the AF2 in 2009. Then next thing you know, 2010, the league came back, and I wound up in
Wow.
Spokane, wound up with an Arena Bowl championship. Yep.
Wow,
And then
that is awesome, man.
here I
Like,
am in Philly.
yeah, wow, that is crazy. I mean, like you gotta have that dog in you, in order to,
Yes.
keep going from team to team to strive for what you want to do in life. That
Yeah.
is huge props to you for
Yes,
sure.
sir.
Man. Now let's talk about your time in Philly. Obviously, going to high school in Willingboro and all. It had to be exciting, and you probably got hit with a bunch of family friends tickets all the time to play for the Soul. But why don't you talk about some of your accomplishments here, playing for the Soul, and maybe like also add in there too, like was it a lot of pressure playing in a big media Philly sports market here?
Man, you know what? It wasn't a lot of pressure at all. I think it was more of a challenge to me, period, because not more of a challenge. I think it was more of a privilege because I was more so thankful that I had an opportunity to play in my hometown. So I felt like it was my due diligence to perform at a high level for my city.
Yeah.
You know how us fans are here in Philly. You see, I'm a diehard Eagles fan.
Yep.
Always have been. My family, my sisters, my mother, my father, everybody. We even tailgate games for the Eagles games. Like we're huge football fans, and so when I got the opportunity to come here to Philly, I didn't hesitate. I was like, man, it's going down. I'm going to give it everything I got, even knowing that I had the Tiger Jones, I had Donovan Morgan's here. I was just like, man, like they guys even asked me, they was like, why are you going to Philly, man? You could play somewhere else. Them guys are already big names there. They might not let you play. I said, nah. I was like, I'm sorry, man. I'm too tough of a ball player to just give in just because there's other big names there. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
know I can perform at the same level as those guys, if not better. And I stuck around and I performed. I gave it everything I had in Philly.
Awesome, man. That is so funny. You brought up Tiger Jones because I was like thinking about that team when he was on there, man. He was really incredible. Just like all the catches he did in the yards. Oh my God.
Yeah, and being a part of that, Tiger Jones, his work ethic was amazing. Not only that, the man is a genius to the game. He was a huge student to the game. I really paid attention to a lot that he did, and I admired a lot that he did as well, man. But a lot of people don't know the things that I know. Tiger, he put his body through a lot during his career, especially in Philly, and still came out and performed at a high level. And that's why I have the utmost respect for Tiger Jones till this day. And I will talk about him until I close my eyes. You know what I mean? Because he's a heck of a football player, man, in the Arena Football League.
Yes, that is major facts. He was different.
Yeah.
Definitely, yeah.
Yes.
Man. Now to get people more excited too, I know you're a huge advocate on that Facebook page for the Philadelphia Soul fans.
Yes, sir.
And also Coach Pimble's been in there. Also the GM Kelly Logan has been in there too. You guys are trying to get the fans excited again. So training camp opened up yesterday. How's it going so far and building the chemistry with all the new teammates and all?
Well, I have to admit, man, these are an outstanding group of guys. These guys, the personalities I've been more impressed with anything. Athleticism, these guys are very athletic, are showing a lot of talent, showing a lot of hunger for the game. And, it's very hard to come across, a lot of rookies like that, that's coming in, that's determined to win, determined to earn their spot on the team. And, even with the obstacles that we have been going through as far as ownership and things like that, starting off this season, these guys have been sticking to it and have been buckling down, doing whatever it takes to, to make sure that this season is a successful season. And I'm very proud of those guys, and I'm very happy to be a part of that.
That's really great to hear. Now, what's it like to have a coach in Pat Pimmel? Obviously he brings a lot of coaching experience. I think he's got like 30 plus years coaching that I saw on the Soul Media Day. So what's it been like being around him?
Oh, it's been an experience. Coach Pimmel is definitely a hard-nosed guy, but has the most greatest personality ever, greatest heart ever. He is definitely about his players. He loves his players to death, man. He's been sticking his neck out a lot for this team starting off this season, and I have the utmost respect for him. He's been stressed. He's been stressed out starting off, but when you're stressed out and you're able to push through it, man, and say, nah, I'm not just going to give up on you guys just because of everything that's going on. I'm going to make sure that this thing works out. So that alone speaks a lot of character for him. And as well, it speaks a lot of volumes for the team going into the season. So, and ain't nothing like having confidence for a coach. In a coach going into a football season, because, not all coaches bring that to the game. I've came up with some great coaches, in my career, and I'm happy to be a part of a new one that's coming in, even in my age, that I will not disclose.
Like that. Well, that also brings up my next question. So, obviously, you bring a ton of experience. Arena Football League. I also heard like when the players were getting interviewed on media day, like Todd Sammons and all, like they were saying they were texting you, calling you, just getting them like comfortable answering their questions. So obviously you are the wideout. You're going to be used a lot as well. But what's your role in this team? Like, are you more looking forward to like putting up the numbers, or are you looking forward just to being like that leadership captain guy for this team?
Well, definitely that leadership captain guy. And of course, it's never going to be a doubt that I'm going to want to put up numbers. That's just my game. That's just my mindset. That's
Yep.
just the heart and the dog that's in me to want to do that. A lot of people have lots of questions and doubt because I'm an older player and I'm seasoned at this moment. But believe me, that seasoned stuff that goes out the window when I'm out there on that field. I don't think about none of that. I take care of my body. I work hard. And not only that, I don't just play football. I run a business outside of this as well. And
Mhm.
I put a lot of time, off the field just as much as I do on the field. So, I'm definitely going to bring as much as I can to this table. Um, Lots of leadership to these guys, and I appreciate the respect that I have been getting already from the guys. The OG status is it's not the greatest status to have.
Yeah.
It does kind of mentally take me out a little bit, but that's nothing to push through, of course. But I'm excited. It just shows a lot of respect at the same time, so I appreciate it.
I know. That's actually funny that you brought that up because one of my best friends used to be a professional soccer player for the Philadelphia Union, and then he wrapped up in San Antonio Soccer Club back in 2019, and he was like born in 86, so I think was he 30, 35, 36 now, so he
Yep.
was like called an old head when he was like 30, 33, 34, and I'm like, oh man. it's just
Yeah,
it's
it's
just
brutal,
funny
man.
how like yeah, it's just crazy like when you're like even though like you're like still like like on the young side and you're not like in your 40s 50s, but it's just funny like when you reach that stage of your football career that you're considered
Yeah.
an old head, isn't it? It's
Yeah,
crazy.
it's brutal, man. It's brutal, but you take it with a grain of salt, man, and you just keep
Yeah.
pushing forward, man. But I made it clear to you, every last one of them. You just better be able to keep up with me. If you
Yep.
cannot, then there's a problem. That means that there's a major problem if you can't keep up with me.
Exactly, exactly.
So,
Now one thing I do want to address because I know like there's like been some mixed like emotions. Obviously, you see it on the Philadelphia Soul Facebook fans page that there's a lot of mixed feelings. People are upset they don't want to go to the that you guys
yeah,
aren't playing at the Wells Fargo Center, but like, people don't understand that costs a lot of money for like the rental fees and stuff, and also like
yeah,
concerts are already booked and all too.
yeah,
But like I think personally, Trenton is great. It's easy to get to again, just like
yeah,
what Kelly said, and I believe that you said previously too. Like you guys could carpool. You could take the river line or whatever it is goes around. You could take the transit. You could Uber. You could
yeah,
walk in groups. Like it's real easy to get to. Plus, it's very spacious in there too because they used to have the Trenton Titans hockey team there. So it's definitely more spacious than having a Temple University at the Leah Core Center because I feel like Kelly like wouldn't have enough like seating, to make money on because they would probably take the lower bowl out a lot of it in order to make it 50 yards for like Temple. But what do
right.
you have to say to people that are on the fence and all? Because like you guys are obviously going to play on the road a lot. I think you got like 7 games on the road, but you do have your 3 home games. So what do you have to say for the people to come out and support you guys and all?
Man, I just want to. Well, this is actually a perfect opportunity to clear the air for a lot
Yes,
of people
definitely.
and a lot of the fans. I was going to take an opportunity to post a video, but I've been extremely busy lately,
Yeah,
and have been getting a lot of questions. Trust me, my inbox has been blowing up,
I
man.
can't imagine.
Yeah. So, but I know a lot of people don't understand, and you mentioned it. A lot of the back expenses and stuff that are going on, and like you said, a lot of events that have already been scheduled. And then not only that, the ownership backing out as well at the last minute. So it kind of makes it a little tough. It made it very, very tough for us to get back into Wells Fargo. Even when I found out that the AFL was coming back and Philadelphia Soul was coming back, the first thing I thought was, oh man, it won't be the Soul myself. It won't be the Soul unless we had the Wells Fargo.
Right.
But the moment that they told me that it was at the Cure Arena, that it had to be switched, I just said, oh, that's not bad either, man. Just
No.
like you said, it's plenty of transportation to get there. I personally have even been trying to put together the fan experience bus so that fans can still have that experience, being able to go to the game together, have fun on your way there, have fun after a lovely win at home and going back home. I still want to be able to give that to the fans. I'm going to say we, not me.
Right,
We want
right.
to be able to give that to the fans. And we just want you guys to understand that it is a roller coaster. The league is just starting back up. No, I'm not saying that the league is broke. It's just that there's a lot of loose ends that need to be retied, and that's what we're doing. And we just ask that you guys just hold tight. Trust me, we're gonna go on for a nice little ride together. You ride,
Yep.
you stay on board with us. We're going for a nice ride after this.
Like that. Perfectly said. And also, I know a lot of people are like, there used to be a ritual, like everyone after the Soul games would go to Chickies in South
Mhm.
Philly. I
Oh,
feel like for
yeah.
that distance, excuse me. So I think for that distance, probably if you guys want to do that tradition, I feel like maybe Chickies on the Boulevard would probably be the closest option. I'd say it's probably, I mean, I could be wrong. I don't got the Google Maps up, probably say like 18 to 25 minutes from
Mhm.
or it could be less than that because you could literally take US 1
Mhm.
down the boulevard and you guys can have the after party there.
Yes, and but there's a location actually that is right around the corner from there.
Oh,
Don't get me wrong, I don't want to say the
right,
wrong
right.
thing,
Yeah.
but this location is just like Chicky and Pete's. No, not to discredit Chicky and Pete's, because
Yeah, yeah, of
trust me,
course.
I will try very hard to get the fans back there because
Yeah.
I love Pete. Pete is a great guy, and I know that he means well and wanting us, to get in there. But I also understand that he has a schedule as well. They
Hmm.
have events going on, and if a lot of this stuff was handled way much further in advance, we probably would
Oh yeah.
be able to work with him, or he would be able to work with us to get us back in there. However, we had to find alternatives, and there's a beautiful place that's just as big, if not bigger, around the corner from the arena. And
Okay.
if we could find a way to get that fan experience bus to still be able to go there afterwards so everybody can enjoy themselves with the players, post party, post game,
Hmm.
man, we're gonna make it. We're gonna make the experience just as great as it was as us being here at the Wells Fargo. So trust me, I'm not getting sleep myself personally as a player, trying to make sure that the fans get the best of
Yep.
the best. Because we deserve it. You guys deserve it. We deserve it, and we just want to bring that all back for you guys.
I like that. Awesome. Cool. And then for those wondering, of course, I know that Kelly Logan, the general manager of the Philadelphia Soul, did say that he's working on tickets, ticket plans and stuff. So you guys will see a press release soon. Obviously the season starts April 27th, but I'm sure Kelly's working hard to get that press release out and all for like ticket packages and stuff. So definitely stay open and looking on the pages and the social media too for
Yes,
that.
trust me, he has been working extremely hard. I've been
Yeah.
trying to do everything to keep his sanity. you know, he was. A lot of fans have to understand he was thrown in the line of fire himself,
Hmm.
and so you can't expect him to squeeze too much blood out of a rock. But believe me, he's doing everything he can to get at least a drop of that blood
Oh
out.
yeah.
And so that's just how hard he's working. So I have to give it to him. He has been extremely working hard, and
Hmm.
the time is here. So we're gonna give everything we can to make sure this works out for you guys.
Yes.
Kelly Logan is working. Believe me, I
Oh
know it.
yeah.
I know it.
All right, so now we reached the interview part that I usually do with the boxers, but now I'm gonna do it with you guys too. Just have some fun. It's called rapid fire. So I'll ask you some fun questions. You could give one word answers, you can elaborate on it. You ready? All right, so I got five of them for you. Obviously, the first one's an obvious one. But what was your favorite NFL team growing up and your current NFL team?
Rapid fire. Philadelphia Eagles. No question.
I
Hands
like
down.
it. What's your favorite Arena Football League moment of all time in your career?
Whew. Arena Bowl 2010 against the Tampa Bay Storms, my field goal block at halftime. That was my most memorable moment.
Oh.
And I still have that video to this day. You can see it yourself on YouTube. Man, from time to time I watch it for motivation. Man, it still to this day brings tears to my eyes and brings excitement to me when I watch it.
Oh man, I got to check that out because having a
Yeah.
block field goal in arena football is like impossible. So I got to check that out. Wow, that is awesome.
I literally jumped over a 6'7" lineman to make that block, man. This is man, I ain't even believe I did it, man. That's just how much of a memorable moment that was. So
Oh my
yeah.
god. Oh
Yeah.
wow, yeah. I'm gonna have to check that out then, definitely.
Yes, sir.
All right. What so if someone came up to you and said that they're gonna make a documentary about your life as a football player, what current actor in Hollywood would you want to play you?
Oh man.
Go
Can I name two?
ahead. You're
It
good.
would be Denzel Washington and Will Smith.
All right, I
No
like
question.
it.
No question.
I like it. What's the craziest item that a fan has ever asked you to sign?
Oh man. Uh Definitely was my undershirt. Because they wanted it because they wanted my sweat from the shirt.
Oh my god.
I said I don't know how I was going to be. But I
Oh
managed to
yeah.
do it. Managed to sign it, and I took it off and gave it to them. I mean, listen, I'm here to please the fans, man.
Yeah.
I'm here to put on a show for them. So listen, man, whatever's going to bring the fans back, it's whatever. I'm doing it, so I'm cool.
God knows where that undershirt is now,
Yeah.
huh?
Yes.
That's funny. Final question. What's your favorite spot to eat in the city of Philadelphia?
Oh man. A lot of people gonna probably give me crap for this, but I like Del Frisco's.
Okay.
I like Del Frisco's. It's
Not
a
bad.
little bit of a high end, bougie end, but I'm sorry, the food is delicious. I can't help it.
I like it. All right, cool. Well, Emery, it was awesome meeting you. Awesome chatting with you. Can't wait to see you. I'm gonna try to come out to a practice if it's on like a weekend or something. I'm gonna try to come out, see you guys, maybe get some content and stuff too. But I can't wait for the season to start, man.
You got it, man. Same here. I'm more than excited, and I hope you fans are just as excited as I am.
Perfect. All right, guys, that wraps up episode 1. Our next episode, we're gonna have the Philadelphia Soul GM, Kelly Logan. That will be posted at the end of the week for the interview with Kelly. Thank you guys and have a wonderful night.
Got it. Thank you guys for having me.